Hello dear followers. So I'm wearing my new cat suit and no corset, so you can see all my rolls. But that's not the point of this video. Actually, the point is that I have some questions. I had some questions from a follower who found my FedLife account and was very interested in my trip to Germany. So I did, as you know, a video about my trip to Germany, but it's not very long, and maybe you have similar questions. So I will try to reply them, like I did with he or her. I'm not sure is he or she. So uh, questions. The questions, of course. Okay, so she said, I have tons of questions. Why did you choose Germany to travel? And I said, I wanted to travel to Germany since I was a teenager. That's true. And I love theater, poetry, and I love Bertolt Brecht. I don't know if I am pronouncing that name right, but you should Google Bertolt Brecht. I went to the cemetery. I took some pictures next to his grave, very respectful, of course, and it was like a dream for me to travel there. So it's kind of a nerd dream, but that's who I am. Also, I always wanted to travel because of the architecture, history, and stuff, and the language. I don't know why. I always loved German language. It's very weird because I know English, I know Spanish, of course, is my mother tongue, but that language always had attracted me. Um, what else? Did you do this trip alone? Yes, actually, I did it alone, and it was my first time on a plane. So I was very, very afraid, very scared, because that was a big thing for me to get up on a plane. Maybe it's a stupid thing for a lot of people, but for me it was very important. Um, why people didn't know where Chile was or where Chile is. And this person only knew about Chile because of the political issues back in the 70s. Yeah, it was a terrible time back then, and we still have to deal with that. And don't want to get too political, but I think the Chile should learn from history and never repeat it. I think that people in Germany thought, or they didn't know where was Chile because they were confused when I said Chile, and they thought it was like Spain or something like that. And I had to explain, no, Chile is in South America. And they said, oh, America, so maybe it's like Mexico, oh, it's over there. And I was like, no, it's far to the south of America, so it's South America. But they didn't know a lot about Chile. That was surprising. Um, Another question that person posed here. Uh, what did they speak French to me? What did they speak French to you? What kind of people did you meet in Germany? Why? It's a serious question. Well, when I was in Germany, it was weird because I noticed that they don't know how to flirt at all, with me at least, or maybe they were too afraid. So I replied, I don't know why French. They try to flirt, but this is the thing. The people who tried to flirt with me were people on their jobs. For example, at the museum, the people working at the museum, they would say, um, uh, which language do you want the trip or the tour? English? No, no. I said no. I want a tour in Espanol with my Spanish accent. I mean, from Chile, of course. I'm from Chile, and they were like, "Oh, here, please, mademoiselle," with that French accent. Very weird because they were from Germany. Maybe they have this strange way to flirt because sometimes people say that French is like the love language. Maybe because of that. I'm not sure. I think they were trying to sound a bit smooth, talking with some French words, maybe. And the regular people, like, for example, I was having a drink on this next to the Brandenburg Gate, and there were some German dudes, like, on their own, having beers too, alone like me, and they would do this for minutes and minutes and minutes, looking at me like, and I was just drinking my thing. I had, I read that they usually did that to flirt or something. I wasn't sure, but I was doing my thing, like drinking my thing, and that's it. But that happened a lot, especially with men. That's the thing. I mean, uh, women were like just looking at me, like, this is a strange lady, and that's it. But men were like this, like neuron activation or something. I met some random people on my hostel, but not really friends because I stayed in a hostel with a lot of people and they were from all around the world. Um, I didn't make any friends, like exchanging numbers or stuff. No, no. Just have a nice time with them sometimes at the hostel, um, at restaurant too. They were very very kind. Also, Berlin, not Germany because I haven't been in all Germany. Berlin was surrounded, I mean, full of Italian restaurants. That was very weird to me. I wanted to try more like the typical dish in Berlin, but I was seeing all this trattoria and stuff like that, Italian pizza. Um, what else do they have? Italian pizza, tagliatelle, and stuff like that, and pasta. They didn't have traditional food, or at least I couldn't find any place with traditional German food. Um, I think some people or men were maybe afraid of me. I wasn't wearing this, of course, but I was wearing my regular clothes, which is all black, leather, boots, and stuff, because I'm a metalhead. I love rock music, I like metal music, so I usually wear that kind of clothes. Also, I have a Latina body, like you can see here, so a lot of curves, and that was very different to the regular bodies that I could see there. Maybe that was too much in a good way for them. I don't know. What do you mean? There is a lot of German stuff in Chile. Food, drinks, culture, what? Well, we had a lot of German immigrants here in Chile, so especially at the south of Chile. They travel. I'm not very good with history, but they traveled many, many, many years ago. You can do a research on your own. They settle especially at the south of Chile. So they have this. For example, they have a Kunstmann beer. They are Chileans, but they have the German last name. We have a lot of that, and some of those people try to keep their German culture. Some of them, they didn't want it to how to say it, to get involved with Chileans at that time. So for some of those people, it's a bit weird. You should Google that up. I don't want to get too political here. But we have a lot of things. We have a kuchen, which is food. We have chucrut, which is sauerkraut. Sauerkraut. I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's a lot of German influence in our dishes. What else? Uh, that person told me that raves culture there sucks. Most of the people go to Berlin for raves. I didn't go for raves. I'm not interested in that. Um, but I was looking for the gothic scene, like music, literature, very gothic things. Um, that person told me also that there were some cool rock clubs to go have a drink, but I couldn't find any. Uh, Also, that person says that Germany is a lot more than just Berlin, and they have castles, they have good beer and a lot of food to have. And I know that, but I didn't have enough time or money to travel to all of those places. Uh, yes, Chile is very, very different to Mexico. We are not like Mexicans. It's a total different culture. I love Mexican people, of course. I have some friends. We have some exchange regarding to latex too, but we are very different. Maybe we Chileans are a bit more boring. Talking about this Latino thing, we are a bit more boring, I think. Uh, what else? So the reply, he says, if we have cumbia, yes, we have kind of cumbia, but we are not into cumbia too much. Send me some bands to hear. And another questions. Ask me about my favorite food and drinks from Chile. My favorite, just to say, because I love food in general, you know that. My favorite food would be completos. Completos, it's like a hot dog. It has bread, sausage. Um, you can put chucrut, which is sauerkraut or not. Then you add the tomato in little cubes. Then a lot of avocado. We call it palta here in Chile. So we call avocados paltas, not aguacate. We say palta. And then you have a homemade mayonnaise on the top, and you can add also ketchup and mustard, or maybe a bit of how to say it, maybe a bit of chili too, like chili paste if you want, but that's a completo. Favorite drinks? It will be mote con huesillo. Mote con huesillo is dried uh, peaches with wheat. You have to cook everything with cinnamon, with sugar and stuff, and it's very delicious, very typical. It doesn't have any alcohol, so you should look that up. It's mote con huesillo. Mote is the wheat part. Huesillo is the dried peaches. um, what else? That person also mentioned that he or she investigated about the Chilean uh, these little stop signs on food because he or she said Mexico has these little things on their bags of food, uh, and said I didn't know that Chile has the same. And for your information too, my dear subscribers, uh, Chile was the pioneer on food labeling. So we invented that little stop signs on food with Chileans. So look that up. Chile has made a lot of things, and sometimes people don't have any idea. But you can also investigate more on your own, and that's we can call it my trip to Germany part 2. So take care. Thank you for watching my video. Bye bye. And oh, I cannot move with these gloves on. And see you soon.